Avila, question for you, sir. Now, one thing that I noticed as a Dallas resident is that when they did the lockdown, right, and I own a small business, you would be surprised, and I think the crowd would be too, just how fast the economy and everything changed. I didn't know, as the domestic economy was falling, you would see a rise in crime. You know, we would see a rise in people being desperate. You know, people being, not having maybe access to a triple P loan or knowing what that is. And as a former federal agent and being on the border, what opportunities did this make it very unique for the cartels coming into the United States?
It's been a tremendous opportunity for them. We are seeing record numbers of seizures at our ports of entry and in between our ports of entry by Border Patrol, by Texas DPS. In my career, every time I saw those high seizures and those high record number of seizures, it didn't make us feel good. It wasn't like, oh great, we're grabbing it and we're keeping it and we're interdicting it. No, it was telling us there's a lot of it coming in. When we didn't see the seizures, we knew that we were doing a good job in controlling it. But right now, we're getting record numbers of meth, fentanyl, heroin, and cocaine seizures across all our borders and our big ports, seaports around our country. And this is what you have to understand. And I'm gonna have to jump on the local elections here because I preach this and I think it's so important. These cartels are present in our country, just like the traffickers are. The cartels are present everywhere in the United States. They're headquartered in Mexico, but they function in the US because that's where their product goes. So they work closely with the Chicago gangs, the gangs in St. Louis, the gangs in Baltimore, in New York. With all the criminal organizations within our country, they are there present because they're pushing their product. So what happens? You're gonna have this ripple effect, and I know we're gonna get to illegal immigration later, but you're gonna have a point where your local elected officials are gonna have to start making some very, very difficult decisions. And I'm talking about not just city council and your county commissioners, but your school board. Yes. Your school board is gonna have to, who are you gonna elect to your local school board is gonna matter of what decisions are gonna be made to where your children go to school and where they're gonna listen to, and when it comes to how your local community, your police, your sheriff, your chief of police are attacking the cartels. The drugs are not stopping. They're continuing. Yes, the wall, I wish it would continue to be built, and I wish it would be finished because it's a tool needed to continue to help our border agents and secure the border, absolutely. But right now, we're at a crossroads in our country where this administration has absolutely no concern for human life, the kids, even the people that are coming over, and let me tell you, it's not just Mexico and Central America that you might hear about. We have, as you might have noticed in the news, 2 Iranians that were arrested. That was actually CBP put that as a press release, which they normally would not, and I'm glad they did, and then they were forced to take it down. But they reported the 2 Yemenis that were on the no-fly list, on the terrorist watch list. 11 Iranians were arrested in Arizona a couple of months ago. These are the special interest aliens that we refer to, the SIAs, that come from these countries that are not the migrant Mexicans are coming to for work or better their lives. They're coming here for other intentions, and they also are coming into communities. 2 things that the Biden administration has also done besides getting rid of operations from ICE. Just last week, DHS officials can no longer call illegal aliens illegal aliens. You cannot use the word assimilation. I specifically put that word in my book because I think it's such an important thing to do when you come to this country, right? Is to assimilate. What does that do? It does a lot of things. What Jaco alluded to when that kid moves from Houston to Dallas, my kids moved to a bunch of places around the world. You have to learn to assimilate. We wanted to assimilate to that country, wanted to assimilate to that community, to be part of the community. assimilation is such an important part. We have individuals, traffickers, that do not want to assimilate. They live in the shadows. You hear this a lot. It's human trafficking is a crime that happens in plain sight because they're literally right next to you. We had 3 human trafficking cases in South Lake, Texas. South Lake, Texas, a very affluent community. 3 cases in the last year and a half. They're everywhere. If you think that you live in a nice part of town and you're immune from it, absolutely not. You will see human trafficking in every part of your community, and we'll talk more about the cartels and how they affect your communities.
Thank you. All right. And one important topic that you said that I just want to make sure that everyone understands is that assimilate, that's not a bad word, by the way, to assimilate. I'm a first-generation American here, so my parents came from overseas. And I went to school, I assimilate through football, sports. You know, so it's not a bad word to take assimilate out. So just want to say that. Your book is fine, okay? Keep it in there, it's good. But I can't do anything about that.